So great to have a chat with your friend. We've had a few over the years that you've been here, quite a long time now. But
8 years.
I just want to talk first of all about the weekend really that's gone by. Getting a point at Bradford, 16,500 crowd there. You're a part of the management team. How did it feel?
It was very good because it was a good build up to the week. I mean, Alex and Lee and Kenny and John with the analyst sort of side of it all prepared for it, and I think all the boxes we ticked on Saturday, what they wanted to do, show the team down one side. We knew we were going to put a lot of crosses in, so we had the back forward well drilled and the goalkeeper. The strikers still had their part to do by showing them down one side. We could have maybe 1 or 2 goals, and they could maybe make a penalty. So end of the day, I thought it was a fair result.
It was interesting, what Alex just dropped a little line after the match interview when he said we turned them around on the kick-off toss-up, and all little things like that play a part, don't they? And what he meant by that was that they were going to be kicking into the empty end in the second half, as long as you were tight in the game, and it worked. Yeah,
I think teams do it to us, don't they? I think the last 2 home games we've had, the teams have turned us around. But obviously they had about 15 plus crowd there on Saturday, which is a bit different. So the game is always going to be nip and tuck for the first 10 minutes, isn't it? Every team tries to turn each other, let it all settle down and start to play. But by that time, you sort of, half an hour left of the first half to play.
The one thing that you're a part of is working with the goalkeepers and looking at the defensive line as well. And you've had a couple of clean sheets now in the opening month of the season. That is important, and it seems as though it's growing better.
I think it might be 3 clean sheets we've had, I think, in total. The 2 lads, I feel sorry for Dave Richards, because obviously Dave was flying pre-season. We knew we were always going to get Arthur. Arthur was supposed to come the week after. We managed to get Arthur on the Thursday before the season started. Call it fate or what, I don't know, because on the Thursday Dave broke his finger, or the ligament came off the bone, and Arthur got thrown into the deep end. After 1 or 2 weeks, I found out Arthur's only played 17 league games, for Arsenal, which is their 23s or Papa John's trophy games in 3 years. So I think at the moment he's probably played 6 or 7. So, for Arthur to sort of come in and do that, it's been a big thing for him, because obviously he was coming to fight for his place with Dave. He's probably got thrown in a bit too early, because obviously we didn't know what we were getting. We sorted out his kicking with sort of more or less 80%, because Arsenal didn't kick, well, they don't do much kicking, play from the back, which is 23 football. Trying to get him to sort of adapt. I spoke to their goalkeeping coach. He said he's your player now, do what you want with him. So I'm trying to change a few things, which Arthur probably agrees with, or he does agree with. He said their goalkeeping coach works them hard. We started giggling, me and Dave, and then he's realised they do work even harder here. Fans don't see that. If anyone ever come down and watched and saw the goalkeepers train, the even Arthur's saying now, there's nobody works like the goalkeepers at Crewe. Call that blowing your own trumpet, but it's not, because I'm actually what I've always believed in as a player. When I was a player, as a coach, I brought keepers like Jessica Lynon through, Thomas Cusack, Ali Abzi. If you look at Adam Bogdan, who came to Crewe, had a nightmare, didn't he? But then he ended up playing for Liverpool. When you get people like Arthur, you don't get them when they've been number 1 or number 2 goalkeepers. You get them because they're coming to us to learn their trade. And sometimes you're going to have some good stuff, bad stuff in between, and I think he's had everything of all that. He's a bit of a licorice all sorts, hasn't he? He's had, everything thrown at him. He's had some good games, some bad games. Saturday I thought was his best game. Come for crosses, kicking was good, swept up well, which, little things like that. And he's a good learner.
And you had a big part in knowing Aaron Ramsdale as well. That helped to finally get him here. Yeah, massively, because I spoke to Aaron pre-season. Still keep in touch with his dad. Asked Aaron what he was like. So he's a good lad, wants to learn. Arthur had a few clubs after him. I think he had a championship club, 2 first division. He had Crawley after him, at us, Gillingham. But Aaron said, with working with Fred, I know for a fact that when I've worked with Fred since I was 10, right through to 16, I know for a fact you'll enjoy him. He will improve you. But as Arthur says to me, he didn't tell me he kills you. Well, that's you. Yeah. That's what you are. You've been at it a long time. You had a great career,
and your goalkeeping coaching has come to the fore as well. How's it all changed, Fred, since the days? I'm going to bring in Bolton in a minute time because that's where your next game is. But how's it all changed for you from when you were in the glory days at Bolton?
Not much. I mean, obviously more football. People play from the back at all levels now, don't they? You get the odd one or two teams like your Northamptons, your Suttons, in the lower division who are going to put it on you. And I think the Crewe side this year are a lot bigger, stronger. Even the young boys are men now. Got a few games under the belt, like Zach Williams. In terms of difference, there's not much really, apart from bigger crowds. We've got some good young players who could probably go to the top. So in that way, compared to what Bolton was years ago, I would say, there's not much difference apart from the football. Bolton used to Sam got labelled as a big long ball team, but he didn't really. He actually could do all sorts of things, Sam. He's quite a good technician. He knew what he was doing because he had to play against some good sides, like your Arsenals and your Liverpools and Man Uniteds, your City. So he knew what he was doing. And the two young lads here, Alex and Lee, I can see something in them that they're like Sam. They go through like a fine tooth comb, they go through everything. So I think them two will have a good future ahead of themselves.
Do you feel as though, looking at Bolton, because you've got a lot of affinity for Bolton, there's no doubt about it, do you think they've turned the corner now? They've had some dark days, haven't they? They've had some fantastic players.
Yeah, they do.
Do you think they're on the way back?
I hope so. My son's still a Crewe and a Bolton fan, because he's been there since he was like 6. He was at the academy and things like that. Turn it around, I think they have, because they said they had some dark times. Every club goes through things like that, don't they? You look at all the local teams, what Stoke's going through now. Everyone expects them to be in the Premier League, and you don't get a given, do you? You have to work hard for it to get where you're going to get. Your Port Vales have done the same. They've turned it around in Division 1, which is, good luck to them. But I mean, ourselves, we've come down last year, but we've got some good signs of, I think, was it 1-3, drawn 2, lost 1. So, out of 6 games is not a bad ratio.
And what you've got to do is try and concentrate on getting a bit of a cup run going. It's been a few years since that's happened, so the first stop is to Bolton. I'll call it Burnham Park, or whatever you call it, University of Bolton, all sorts of different names.
Macron Stadium, Reebok Stadium.
But it's important you can try and win.
I mean, it's for everybody. I mean, everyone makes a few changes in these sort of games, so it's good for the fringe players to have a good go and put their stamp on this. If anyone ever gets injured or off form, they can actually go in and play, and show what they can do.
You've still got the bit between your teeth, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I still do my soccer schools at night. I've got Will Jaskalainen and Dino Vaza come and train with the young kids at night. And how many pros would do that? So I treat the young kids as pros. And I think, coming in every day, a smile on your face. If you don't got a smile on your face every day, going to any work, there's no point doing it, you might as well retire.